Friends, good morning. This is Shiva here, and today part of the video, actually, we are going to see the statement of work for a project, right? So, in any IT project, not only SAP project, statement of work is very important, which defines actual cost and what are the activities to be covered within the particular time and all these things. So, what is a statement of work, right? The statement of work, in simple, is a document that provides description of given project requirement. It defines the scope of work being provided, project deliverables, timelines, work location, which location we are going to perform and in which timeline, and payment terms, that is how much cost for each activity and conditions. So how much, what is the budget to be done, and within which timeline we need to complete all the project deliverables, right? The statement of work management is simply the process for ensuring the agreed upon scope of services with the client, so that is to be mentioned in the SA are being completed on time and on the budget, set budget with discussed with the client. So the client has to approve that. Whomever is responsible for SAW management is responsible for creating efficiencies, risk mitigation, any special requirements, and supplier management and negotiations. Okay, ultimately finding saving opportunity and reporting on project's overall success. SA are commonly used along with the request for proposal, that is RFP. So organization typically use this document to request a pricing, providing requirements and define a period of performance, enough information that a service provider can respond back with an accurate bid for the project. So the consultant or a subject matter expert can all guys will assemble and work on the request for proposal RFP and find out the solution for that. So they will conduct yellow pad sessions, defense sessions with the client to understand and confirm the requirement. So based on the confirmation from the client, so on the each component, on the each model, say procure to pay, order to cash, so plan to product, all these things, actually we come to a solution, and we need to build a basic building block of that, and then actually we need to provide the estimate and the timeline for completion of each phase of activity in the project. So, say for in case of ASAP, we have project preparation, blueprinting phase, realization, final preparation, and then go live and support. And so all this comes under the, actually coming under the SA. Okay, so we need to complete based on that, and we have the project charter, everything. So which time we need to complete and everything. So Master Service Agreement (MSAs). This is a governing document that outlines two parties, that is vendor and the client. So terms and conditions for the entire relationship. So the statement of work document usually only covers the details belonging to the single project or the scope of the work. Okay. So that is the main aim of the Master Service Agreement. So now next question, how SaaS are created? There are many SAW templates available to help get managers started. However, to write a statement of work can be somewhat complex, and it is an art creating an SA. Getting everything included to ensure the scope of services is detailed enough is critical. Okay. And what is the purpose of statement of work? As already mentioned, the statement of work is a detailed overview of the project scope. So what is to be done, what is not to be done, everything. So scope and out of scope, everything. So it also a way to share the project requirement, acceptance criteria and payment terms with those who are working on the project, whether they are collaborating or contracted to work on the project. So this includes stakeholders like vendors, contractors who are bidding to work on the project. It is also helpful to project managers as it provides structure on which the project plan can be built on. The statement of work will also help to avoid conflicts in the project. So actually unplanned activities can be avoided, and we can make all the work in a synchronization. So with the detail and the clarity, the SA helps keep everyone that is involved in the project on the same page and works to leave confusion to a minimum. When building your schedule, it helps to use project management software. It can immensely helpful for organizing your tasks and resources, as it is critical to make an accurate schedule at this stage in the project. Project management software can also help you to create work breakdown structure WBS to zoom into your project scope and identify your project activities, deliverables, and milestones. Okay, so it will help you to get in touch with the project scope, identify your project and activities, deliverables, what are the deliverables to be done, and then milestones, project milestones. So what are the elements? What are the elements of statement of work, right? So the first one is project purpose of the project. What is for what we are working on the project, and what is to be done. Scope of work. I mean the exact scope. What are the elements to be covered, or what are the points to be covered during the project being performed for the client. So location of the project, in which location we are doing, project length, what is the timeline, and any work requirements we need to mention clearly. Say interface related or any or WM model specific related thing, all these things, right? Or PIPO integrations, everything. So expected deadline. So at what time we need to complete and what time we need to deliver. So that is what expected deadlines and deliverables. Acceptance criteria. So what is accepted and what is not accepted. If you know that that granular difference between this acceptance criteria and non-acceptance criteria, then we are in the right track. Any hardware and software required, what are the say basis side, what are the what are the component required from the network side, what are the hardware, and from basis side or ABAP side, what are the softwares required. So Eclipse kind of thing in S4 HANA we have Eclipse kind of thing. So just we need to highlight all the things. Say SOAP connectivity in PA, all these things, and then performance based standard to be met. Okay, and creating a thorough SA can eliminate the risk that can come if they are if there are any misunderstanding or dispute between parties on any of the elements above. Okay, a concise and well-written SA mitigates the risk of overspend. I mean, it will avoid the wastage of money, so overspend, by ensuring both the supplier and organization have a clear understanding of and the accountability for, right? The work involved bolstering the upfront agreement lessens the opportunity for misunderstanding, resulting in contract extension and associated costs. So what are the different types of SA we have in general? Okay, there are three standard SAW categories currently in use that companies use for defining the scope and procuring services. Some are more popular than other within certain industry. It depends on the industry to industry, but they all have similar components that define its success. Okay, so first one is design or a detailed statement of work. So this category of sort defines exact requirement needed to complete a project. It tells a supplier exactly how to do the work and what process to follow. Additionally, it defines all the requirement and any specific industry related regulations that must be followed by the contractors. Typically, the organization using design saws assume most of the risk of the for the project. Then level of effort. This saw is used for any kind of service. In very general way, it details work hours and any material needed to perform the service over a given time. And the performance based statement of work. Okay, a performance based saw clearly lays out the project's purpose, resources, that will be provided and deliverables that will be accomplished, but it does not provide details about how the work needs to be performed. So this is a preferred SA for most of the companies. So this SA offers the most flexibility, focus on project outcomes, and shares risk between the parties. Okay. And what are the benefits of managing statement of work? So first one is benefits can include increase increased cost saving opportunity, supplier performance and risk mitigation, greater process efficiencies, detailed reporting, and then project performance management is improved, visibility into all outsourced projects within the single preview. So it's a kind of dashboard, and improved workforce management, organization compliance and risk mitigation. Providing successful SA management gives hiring managers the tool necessary to make informed buying decisions and minimizes I can say maximizes the productivity throughout on an organization or minimizes the cost. Okay. So additionally, unexpected circumstances, scope creep, and post-contract charges and require amendments to the original SA, right? So all these things can be controlled. Strong SA management offers the tracking and reporting necessary to enable business leaders to make such changes. It also provides confidence that the project will be delivered on time and in the within the budget. Okay. How to write a project management or project statement of work? A statement of work is a legally binding agreement between the client and a vendor that describes the terms and conditions for the execution of the project scope of work. There is a lot of information to describe in the SA. You can create this on your own if you want, right? So based on the requirement, you can customize the SA, but using project management tool to make sure nothing is left out will provide or prove will be more helpful. So you cannot miss anything, right? So you only have one chance to create your SA document and you want it done right. Here is an overview of the steps that you will need to follow to write your statement of work. So those are: create a brief introduction for your project and then define the purpose of your project, define your project scope, create project work breakdown structure to identify your project task, milestones and deliverables, create a schedule for your task, milestones and deliverables, define project requirements and acceptance criteria, define firm and terms and conditions. So we will better explore each of the SA components involved in this process in the coming in this video. In terms of writing the statement of work, you will you will want to be specific. You want to clarify the terms used to make them universally understood. Also clearly define who is going to do what and by what time those tasks must be completed. Doing this avoids confusion later in the project when you can't afford any miscommunications or disputes. Besides writing clearly, you should include visuals in the song. This will help focus the lens on the various aspects of the project, including visuals, be the charts, graphs, or other illustrations to help you clarify the project. Will make the SA more digestible. After all the work you have done to detail the specifics of the project, you don't want to neglect the final crucial step, getting the work signed off. You can proceed if you don't have the authority to do so, or more accurately, you can, but it might cost you the success for the project, right? Therefore, make sure that those in the authority have signed off on the statement of work. What should be included in the statement of work? This is the next question, important question that will comes in mind. There are as many parts in the statement of work as there are in the project. If you start by focusing on the parts, you can work yourself up to the whole. For a full understanding of the first node, the major aspect of the project is to be addressed. So what are the things? Actually, we have some 14 steps, right? So introduction. Begin with explaining what work is being done and general information about the project. Also, who is involved in the project? State these parties. Uh, this will lead to standing offer, which cements price for the products or services purchased for the project and are more formal contract that goes into a greater detail. Second one is purpose statement. Start with a big question. Why are you initiating this project? What is the purpose of the project? Create a purpose statement to lead off these sections and provide a thorough answer to this question, such as what are the project objectives, deliverables, and returns on investment. Third one, scope of work. What work needs to be done in the project? Note in the scope, it should be mentioned in the scope of work, including what hardware you want, what software you will be necessary to use it, what is the process you will complete the work you will use to complete the work or defined in your project scope. These includes outcomes, time involved, and even general steps it will take to achieve that. You will need to create a project scope statement to capture all the information about your project scope. Okay, where will be the work be done? The team you employ that will have to work somewhere. The project might be site specific at a central facility or some. If not, all team members could work remotely. Either way, there is where you want to detail that and where the equipment and software used will be located, and then task. So task, those general steps outlined in the scope of work and break them down into more detailed tasks. Be specific and don't leave out any action that is required to produce deliverables and accomplish the project objectives. If you want to break the task down into milestones or phases, a work breakdown structure WBS can help you more, right? To detailing on the phases or activities. So milestones. Define the amount of time that is scheduled to complete the project from the start date to the proposed finish date. Detail the billable hours per week and month and whatever else relates to the scheduling of the project, right? Again, specify counts. For example, if there is a maximum amount of billable hours for the vendors under contracts, note it here in the milestone phase of the SAR. Use project management software to monitor your progress and make sure you are meeting your milestones, right? Project Manager has a real-time dashboard that that is built into the tool. Unlike other software that makes you build your own, we only have a dashboard embedded but do all the calculations and display the metrics in easy to read charts and graphs. Keep up with more than milestones but also project variations and cost. Everything will be calculated properly. And seventh one, deliverables. So what are the project deliverables? List them and explain what is due and what is to be covered and when it is due, right? Describe them in detail, such as quantity, size, or color, or whatever might be relevant. Schedule. So include a detailed list of when the project deliverables need to be done, beginning with which vendor will be selected to achieve the goal, the kickoff, what period of performance is required, the review stage, development, implementation, testing, close of the project, etc. Everything should be scheduled in a proper time. So when needs to be completed, when needs to be started, when needs to be closed, everything. The processing time, everything. The standards and testing. If there are if there are any industry acceptance criteria or quality standards that need to be added to the list, right? Those are mentioned. Also, if there will be a testing of the product, list who will be involved in this acceptance testing process, what equipment is needed, and other resources. As a tenth thing, define the project success. Note what the sponsors or project stakeholders expect as a successful as a successful project completion. So, what are the things they are looking for? The vendor, the users or business users, vendors, the business leads, all these people, right? Contractors. So these guys are considered as a stakeholders. And project requirements, list any other equipment that is needed to complete the project, and if there is necessary degree of or certification required for the team members to get it qualified. So all things to be considered in the project requirement. Also note if there will be a travel or other project requirements not already covered. And 12th thing, payment terms. If the project budget has been created, then you list the payment related to the project and how they will be delivered upfront. Over the time or after completion, so all these things will be monitored. That is what actually the project budget has to be created prior to that. Then you can list the payments related to the project and how they will be delivered upfront over the time or after the completion, right? For example, you pay after the completion of a milestone or on a fixed schedules, whichever is more financially feasible. And other things, there will be other parts of the project that are not suited to the above categories, and this is a place where you can add them so that everything is covered. For example, there are security issues, restrictions around the hardware or software, travel pay, and post project support, etc. And then closure. This will determine how the deliverables will be accepted and who will deliver, review, and sign off on the deliverables. Also, it deals with the final admin duties, making sure everything is signed and closed and then archived.